Hello, everybody. Today is Monday, December 20. What is it? The 28th? Yeah, December
28th, my husband's birthday.
Happy birthday. And it's Amber and I. Today we are stuck inside. It's snowing for both of us. Today is Monday. Oh, hold on. December 20. What is it? The 28th.
You're getting an echo effect over there. I don't know if you guys can hear the snow, but it is a blizzard outside right here in Wisconsin. Like you can hear on my window. It's so loud.
The wind is blowing really hard. So we are inside for the day. And so we decided last minute, even though we kind of talked about it prior, but to do it today, to do a webinar today on thinking like a retailer. A lot of new girls have trouble transitioning from being a consumer to a retailer. So we wanted to do a webinar on how to start thinking like a retailer so that your business will boom and that you won't get stuck on doing certain things. So I'm going to ask everybody, if you could on the right hand side, could you just kind of say here? And Amber, I can't see it right now. So as people say here, just say, hi, I'm here. And I see that there are 4 viewers. I'm going to try to get back on here.
Is that showing up on chat? I don't see the viewers so far. Nobody's here.
Well, I see 2 viewers. So
yes, there are definitely 6 people.
Right.
In attendance. So hello.
Hello.
Not working.
All right. Hold on. You could just say, hi, I'm here, so that we can kind of see who's with us today.
Okay, here, Brittany Wood.
Yay, Brittany Wood. Hi, girl. I loved your goals for 2016, girl. Anybody else? All right. Well, you can just say you're here, but I'm going to give it over to Amber, and she's going to introduce herself. She's going to tell her why, and then she's going to start talking. So it's all yours, Amber.
All right. I am Amber Gallen, and I signed up with LuLaRoe back in May. It's got really rolling in June. I started LuLaRoe. I'm a mother of 4 under age 6, and I plan to homeschool. Right now it's still kindergarten, so we're working on it, but I wanted something that could make me money from home without having to leave my kids and afford daycare for 4 kids. And I was on Instagram one day. I was kind of also in that place where I just had a baby 6 months ago, needed new clothes, and I stumbled across LuLaRoe and fell in love, and within 4 days I signed up. In the beginning, I didn't really know what to expect, and I kind of thought it was going to be this just super easy hobby that would make me some money, and I very quickly realized within a few weeks that, oh, there's women who are selling LuLaRoe who aren't just like getting cheap clothes. They're actually making legit careers out of this and doing it really well, and I quickly realized I want that to be me. I want to make a career out of this. I want to do it well. And I want to treat my business like a business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Some things that we've learned along the way in my 7, almost 8 months of doing this. And Amanda's been doing it for how long, Amanda?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. So she's the vet. I'm here kind of learning from her and teaching you what I've learned. So I said, treat your business like a business. And that is totally key, because if you treat your business like a hobby, you will see hobby results. And if you treat your business like a business, you'll see business results, which are way better than hobby results. So some things I noticed about me in the beginning is I was treating my business like a hobby. I was putting it last after everything else. So it was kind of like, if I have time for LuLaRoe, I'll squeeze it in. Or if something more exciting came up, maybe I didn't really feel like running that online sale that I'd thought about running on Wednesday night. But then something exciting comes up on Wednesday and I'm like, I'll do it Thursday. You know, that was me for the first couple weeks. Obviously, I was doing a lot with LuLaRoe, but I wasn't prioritizing it. And I very quickly realized just from watching other people that, okay, people are talking about like they have a schedule that they follow. And they're putting it first, they're treating it like a job. Like, this is a job? Okay. So if you're treating your business like a business, you will make time for it, and you will put yourself on a schedule, and you'll say, I'm running that sale on Wednesday and I'm going to commit to it, not just, oh, whatever, somebody invited me out for dinner and I'm going to go do that instead because it's more fun. And I'll make money tomorrow. You know, nobody would do that with their job. You wouldn't go to your 9 to 5 and, well, maybe you do call in sick occasionally, but if you did it too often, you get fired. And it kind of like with LuLaRoe, you're not going to get fired, but you're not going to make a business income either if you're just blowing off LuLaRoe all the time and kind of putting it on the back burner. Sometimes because LuLaRoe is so flexible and it is a lot of fun at times, it's easy to just not see it as a business. And sometimes you'll get people in your life, maybe your husband, maybe your friends, maybe your sisters, maybe your family, who kind of naysay in the beginning and don't give you the time. And that's frustrating for me as a mom with 4 kids, and my husband wasn't completely on board in the beginning. I found it difficult to balance my time, and it came down to the fact that I needed to talk to him and have a good conversation and say, hey, I'm making money at this, and I need this amount of time to invest per week to make it good. And he said, okay, like, how can I give you that? And we talked about it. I talked about my needs, he talked about his needs, and we worked on more of a schedule. So now I have, you know, time that's LuLaRoe time in my day, and time that's just for my husband in my day, and time for just my kids in the day. And sometimes I'm doing all 3 at once. But that conversation was totally key. If you think about any other business, so let's say you're going to run a coffee shop. You're going to start up a coffee shop, and it's just you at first. You buy this corner cute little, you know, boutique store, and you put a coffee shop in it, and you're working behind the counter. And let's say nobody comes to shop at your coffee shop. You've told like 10 friends you're opening this coffee shop, and nobody comes. What are you going to do? Are you going to just sit behind your coffee counter and wait for people to come to you? Or are you going to get out there and market, put yourself out there, give away free coffee, put coupons in everybody's bags at some other business, join with another business, have a big blowout party? Obviously, you're going to do that. You're not just going to sit there and, oh, I invested all this money into my coffee shop, I'm just going to sit here and wait for people to show up. That doesn't happen, and that shouldn't happen with LuLaRoe either. Let's pretend the opposite happens. You buy this coffee shop, and it's going awesomely well, and you're flooded with customers, and they're like waiting in lines out the door to get your coffee because it's so amazing. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue running that coffee shop all by yourself and say, well, this is my awesome, cool coffee shop. It's all mine. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to like just bust my butt to serve all these customers, and I'm going to make it work. Like, no, you would hire another barista. And that's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. And treating your business like a business, sometimes you need to hire help. And you need to recognize, I can't do this all by myself. There's things I could be spending my time on that are better than, you know, what I'm spending my time on. So, yeah, so in the beginning, it will be just you. With most of us, it will be just you working, but you're going to reach that point, that tipping point where you have to decide, is this a hobby or is this my business? And then you need to talk to the necessary people. You need to hire the necessary help. And you need to put yourself out there and not be afraid to say, hey, I have a business. Come buy from me. Right. The other thing I think is important is, as you grow as a business, you need to start seeing your business as separate from yourself. You've invested yourself into this business. It's you. Like LuLaRoe, we use our names. LuLaRoe, Amber Gallon, like that's me, right? But it can't be, because what if I go on vacation? What if I get really sick? What if I have a baby? Like, is my business just going to stop for a month or 2 weeks? Or start putting those support people in place, whether it be your husband, your best friend, your sister, your neighbor, your assistant that you've hired. Start training them to help you with your business, so that if you just get mono for 2 weeks and are laid out flat, that your husband and your assistant and your neighbor can say, all right, we're taking over for a little while, and they can take over. So set work hours. Another thing I think is important that we've been discussing on Lulabirds a little bit lately, that's my team, is setting customer expectations. So once you've set those work hours, you say, I'm going to work these hours, or I'm going to do this many sales a week, or I'm going to run only 1 online sale a week or 3 online sales a week, whatever it is. You need to inform your customers, because they don't know if you don't tell them, and they will abuse your time, not on purpose, but they will just take whatever you give them. So I had one person on my team who was recently frustrated. She's like, people are knocking on my door all day long, and they like come over and then they shop for 2 hours and I can't get rid of them. And like, what do I do? And I'm like, set boundaries. You need to tell your customers, this is how it's going to go down. When I have people porch pickup after my online sales, I have a pickup box outside, and it's always under the premise, I'm not home. You're not coming over to pick up your Irma you bought and come into my house and shop for 2 hours while I'm trying to homeschool my kids. Like, I can't do that all day long. You're not, she said it's like every customer thinks they're VIP or something. And that's so true so set those customer expectations. A lot of people will pin a permanent post to the top of their page saying their hours just in photo. I always recommend photo format. So go to pickmonkey.com, put in a little colored square, put words on top of it. Will always catch attention. So if you want people to direct all their emails to LuLaRoe, Amber Gallon, or whatever your thing is, or if you want people to only talk to you at this time, or only do this at this time, or you can only stop by my house at this time, put it up there on your page, right on top in picture format, because we're visual learners, most of us, and just put it out there and inform your customers, and you'll find your time and your sanity, even if you have to say no to some people sometimes where they're like, on my way, coming over, and you're like, I'm in my bathrobe. Learn to say no, learn to set boundaries.
Really quick, Amber, for those of you who have in-home, like where you have shoppers that can come in, so that they're not just knocking on your door whenever. When my kids were little, our door was always like somebody was always knocking on the door, and we homeschool through the summer, and sometimes we take here. I had a green sign and a red sign. Green means go, means don't knock. You could do that for your customers too. Like even my friends knew that if there was a red sign, if they were dropping something off, just put it on the porch, because my kids would get all crazy. Oh, Mandy's here, or whoever's here, and they would lose concentration, and that way it kept my sanity. Okay, there you go, Amber, sorry.
You can also fend off a lot of pestery customers by just making it known, I only answer my messages on Tuesdays and Fridays, or something like that, so that they're not messaging you on a Wednesday and being like, why isn't she responding, and then freaking out and smearing your name all over your page because you have bad customer service. Like, put it out there, inform your customers, let them know. So then how do we think like a business in terms of selling our clothes? I highly recommend creating hype and scarcity, especially online, but in person too. Sometimes I see people trying to sell the clothes, and they're kind of like, almost come off as desperate to get rid of them. Like, I've had these prints forever, I'm gonna just discount them all and get rid of them. That never goes over well for me. Every time I have a huge discount sale, people are like, meh, like she doesn't like those prints. Why would I like those prints? So always, 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 you should always say, even if it's not 100% true, I have new inventory, I have a new box, I just had a new box coming in. If you need to like parcel that out to make sure that you always have something new online, I highly recommend, if you get like a 400-piece order in, parcel that out into like 30-piece parties or 30 new pieces joining your parties. Don't put it all out there, especially online, all at once. So always creating hype, always having something.
If you put it all out there online, you'll find that your repeat customers aren't going to keep buying from you because they're going to see everything. Mm-hmm. But if you just do 4 to 5 prints per size and, vary it, they're going to come back and they're going to want to look through everything, and, it's going to keep them coming.
Exactly.
Right?
I totally made that mistake in December. I didn't order any new pieces in December until just this week. And I ordered a ton end of November. And I totally put it up for like my big Thanksgiving sale. And then I was like, shoot, now I have nothing new for December. And I have this huge inventory. And my customers were like, I literally posted 1,200 pieces one day. And some girl goes, is that it? All right. So definitely, if you're having trouble moving items, so you're panicking because you've seen the same ugly print in your inventory forever. This is where we as LuLaRoe differ from a standard retailer. We say think like a retailer. One of my teammates asked me the other day, she said, why do we say think like a retailer except for running sales? Like every other retailer, Gap, etc., will have a 60% off, 70% off sale at the end of the season. And she said, that's for a reason, because, they need to move that inventory at the end of the season. And I said, this is where we differ, because we do not have prints that are seasonal. They do not go out of style. The whole point with making 1,000 prints at a time is that everything is current, and your customers don't know the difference unless they're crazy stalkers who are following LuLaRoe and knowing exactly what's out. They won't know what's old and what's new if you don't tell them. So if you are going to sit there at your sale and say, this is an old print, you can have it for 60% off, then they're starting to weigh, do I really want it? Like, it's an old print. Right. But if you don't tell them, then they're just seeing cute prints. So if you do run, I highly recommend, if you need to move inventory, first get fresh customers who haven't seen your print. So always give stuff away, reach out, expand, get fresh customers. If you only have the same customers, can't seem to expand, wear the item. Always act as a human mannequin. In retail, the items that aren't selling will be on the mannequins. That's what those are, is the items that they need to move. So you are the mannequin. You can use a mannequin, but you are the best mannequin. Post an Instagram of you styling that outfit, you know, make it look cute. I can't tell you the number of times I've thought that outfit is hideous or that print is hideous until I see it on another consultant, and then I'm like, and that'll work for your customers too. If you do have to run a sale, maybe, I don't know, there are situations where you get so tired of looking at a certain prints and it's been 6 months and, you know, you just want to move them. So you do a big discount. That happens with every consultant. I think we all have discounts. Just be aware that it's a double-edged sword, because it might move, you might move your inventory then. If you do it on the regular though, your customers, you're training your customers to say, I'm gonna wait for the next sale. She has sales 3 times a month. I'm not buying this at full price. You're training your customers to never buy full price from you. I think of Kohl's, the department store, kind of like Target. That's their business model, is they overprice everything and then they always have it on sale. Like, that's what I've noticed, it's always on sale. So I would never buy anything full priced at Kohl's because it's always on sale. So if you train your customers and have that many sales, they're never gonna buy it full price from you, and then you're missing out on money. So definitely use it sparingly if you're actually gonna have a sale. The other thing is, if you are using buy-sell trade groups as your market to sell, you're gonna frustrate yourself beyond belief, because those are micro sales. Half the time those customers in those groups are looking for deals because they've gotten deals, and so they're just like gonna hound you. Like, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I've noticed that mentality in those groups where, you know, if one consultant, even one, says, I'm gonna sell you this at 40% off. Well, that becomes a standard. Then the other consultants in that group have to sell their stuff at 40% off. And if you waste time selling your inventory in there instead of focusing on your business, you're going to have all these little micro sales that are going to take up all this time. You're going to be making not that much money on those. And then in the meantime, those customers aren't loyal. They're not coming back to you. They're really only shopping in that group. And you're going to just not go anywhere. You're going to be stuck in that group selling micro sales. A lot of little tiny sales with no payoff, you know? Put that time, if you think, okay, so the other ridiculous thing about this is people want LuLaRoe. It's not like we have to shove it off on people. People are after it. It's like snowblowers in snow season.
Right,
like,
but that's like all the years.
Right now, I just said to my husband, he goes, I need a new shovel. I'm like, we need a snowblower. It's ridiculous out there. Go out and buy one. Do you think if he goes on, let's say Craigslist, our local buy-sell trade page, and he says, hey, I need a snowblower. Anyone got one? Do you think like Home Depot or Menards or Target's going to jump in and say, hey, we got snowblowers for $100. I'll give it to you for $60. Like, yeah, my husband would jump on that. But then do you think the next time somebody else wants a snowblower, if they witness that they're going to go to Home Depot or to Target or Menards and look for a snowblower? No, they're going to look on Craigslist and they're going to type, I need a snowblower, and hope that one of those places is going to jump on and offer it to them for cheaper. And that's kind of what happens when you sell in buy-sell trade, is that you're discrediting your prices and your value to the point where people aren't going to come seek you out, and they're not going to come find your store because you're always right there and willing to sell for cheaper. So again, double-edged sword, buy-sell trade and running discounts, always double-edged sword. Last couple of things I want to talk about is with treating your business like a business, just be sure that you're professional in everything you do. They always say a LuLaRoe to set expectations low and then blow them out of the water and over-deliver. That's always better than setting expectations up here saying, oh, I'm shipping out tomorrow and then shipping out next Tuesday. Whereas if you said, I'll ship out in a week and then you ship out tomorrow, whoa, you know, people are impressed. But the opposite always makes customers grumbly. So do what you say you're going to do, follow through, and do it, is basically what being professional is. Merchandising, some consultants will make sure that, so in the fall, you pull all your summer prints and you just have fall prints out there. If you have a double, if you have more than 2 prints in a size, definitely only put one out there. or 2 tops and hide the rest, because you don't want it to look like, whoa, she has 10 of these and only 1 of everything else. Everybody must hate these 10 prints. And then you probably already know this if you started out as a consultant at any time, but invest in the commercial racks, some good signage, maybe a mannequin. I don't own one yet. It's on my wish list. You know, make it look nice, make it look pretty, especially for your launch party, because your launch party says, this is how it's going to be when I run parties at your house. And if you put pictures up there on social media, that's telling people this is how it's going to be. And if you just have everything kind of laying in bags and all around the room, nobody's going to want to host parties. So
that's totally true. I'm super kind of anal about how I'm set up, and I like to make sure before I go to the party that everything's in sizes, and it's totally true that people, if they can't find something, they're going to give up. You know, they're not going to want to search for their unicorn or anything. But those are all good points. I'm kind of I don't have any notes, so just bear with me. I first heard this saying, like, think like a retailer, in a training in Kansas City, and Patrick was there, and he said, you guys need to think like a retailer. And I remember my first thought when they told me when I signed up for LuLaRoe that I wasn't going to be able to pick out my prints was like, what the heck? They're going to give me all these ugly prints, and I'm not going to be able to sell them, you know? But that's not true. Like, even the ugliest, the thing that you think is the ugliest will sell, because somebody else has a different taste, and they're gonna like it. So one thing about thinking like a retailer is own your inventory. Don't think, oh my goodness, all these prints are so ugly, I need to go and just sell them to all my LuLaRoe friends so that I can get new stuff that's coming out. Don't think that. You need to own your inventory. I have never, I mean, I do, I'm not going to say never, I did get rid of Sloan's, but I've never just put all my inventory out there to try to move it, or been on a buy sell trade page to try to move it. And I'm still selling those ugly items, those things that I could have sold on those buy sell trade pages or to other LuLaRoe consultants, but they're going to sell eventually, especially if you have live parties. If you're going into a home and people have never heard of LuLaRoe before, you're going to find people who will love those prints that have been sitting on your rack, or who or the prints that you think are ugly, because they're going to actually see it. But if you're continually having online parties, you are going to have to keep freshening up your stuff, because most of the people who are online LuLaRoe buyers, and they know exactly what they want. They are on all like other pages. That's my experience. My best experience with online with new people is when I do it in an event and it's an online party or it's a live party that's been switched to an online party, because most of the people don't know about LuLaRoe. So just keep that in mind.
I definitely think that your inventory, and if you were a LuLaRoe fan before you were a consultant, this is sometimes more of a temptation, is to view your inventory as your extended closet.
Right.
And yes, we get to pick our own prints from there, but it's not about what I like all the time. Sometimes I look at the ugliest print and somebody finds it and I'm like, yep, that's who that print was made for, because it looks amazing on them. It's not your extended closet. It's not your taste. If it was my taste, it'd be like all Aztecs and black and whites and you know, maybe a few mustards in there.
Some stripes, yeah, and solids. That's what I would have. And like Amber said, sometimes those prints that you think are so ugly will grow on you if you see it on somebody else. So just, you know, just a word, just look through Instagram, through the LuLaRoe hashtag, see how people are wearing other things. One thing that Amber said too was, you are a mannequin. And I did a session with Amy Cara on social media, and she always, all of her posts, and you can go and look at her posts after this, like 80% of her posts are with prints that she wants to move. So she uses social media to move prints. Now, I had never thought about putting a print on, taking a picture of it, and then putting it back on my.
Someone asked me, "Can you do that? Is that illegal?" I was like, "Of course you can do that."
Right. Well, I was learning in my session with Amy, and when she said that, I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, it was really hard for me, because I don't think ahead to do that kind of stuff. But you should. We are mannequins, just like Amber said, and we should use our bodies to display those ugly prints. One thing that I really want to touch on is giveaways. And when you first start your business, you've spent a ton of money and you're like, okay, I don't want to give any of this away. But it is really important. Hold on just a second. I'm on a live webinar. Shut the door. It's really important to do those giveaways once in a while. I'm not talking like every single day or anything, but just to get your name out there and to gain customers. When you give something, first of all, you're blessing somebody. And second of all, it's going to come back to you. You could walk around with leggings in a bag and just say, hey, I started a new business. Feel these leggings, aren't they great? Pick a pair, do something like that. Or do a giveaway where online where everybody has to post a picture and then go to random.org, enter everybody's name in and pick somebody random. But those giveaways are important for your business because you are going to gain customers. You're going to, people are going to like you for doing that because, of course, who doesn't like free stuff, Amber, what's been your experience with giveaways like that?
Giveaways were so essential to my business. I started in June, and we say the J months. I'm not sure how true of it is. It's going to be in January, but the J months are notoriously bad for sales. So June and July were my first 2 months in business. Nobody's buying clothes in the summer compared to the fall. I mean, the fall is like back to school, then Christmas, and everything. In the summer, you're like, I don't need to wear clothes. It's hot outside. So, so I started those 2 businesses or those 2 months, and in July I was like not booking as many parties as I wanted, and I just started. I just paid for convention, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I don't have any more parties in July. I'm stuck, and so I decided, like, okay, go big or go home. I'm gonna give away so many clothes that it scares me. Like, I'm gonna focus on growing my online following, and I'm gonna give a ton away. And so I did a huge giveaway. I gave away like $800 worth of clothes. It was ridiculous for just starting my business. Mm-hmm. And I grew my online VIP shop group from 300 people to 1,400 people in like a week. It was crazy. And so do you think those 1,400 people just left? No. They stayed, and it took them a little while to warm up, but I gained a couple new addicts from that, people who had never known of LuLaRoe, but their friend had to tag them in order to win the giveaway or add them to the group in order to win the giveaway.
Was that on Instagram?
That was on my Facebook page. I had in order to enter this giveaway, you need to add a friend to the group and tag them. And they could do that as many times and as many friends as they wanted to get more entries. So and I posted my really cute stuff. I put up like the cutest of the cute dot smile dresses, and I had one friend who just added 300 people because she really wanted that dress. She wanted to. She monopolized that thread, but 300 people, she added her whole friends list. And is that spamming people? I asked people to only add people that they really thought would love LuLaRoe, but who doesn't really love LuLaRoe. Right. I always figure if I add somebody to my group, or if a friend adds them and they're like, look around and they're like, not for me, they just leave. Half the time, sometimes. So somebody asked, Amber, what kind of giveaway did you do? Ask people in your group to add friends. Yes, that's what I did. So I posted like a really cute one, a really cute print that everybody wanted, like go big or go home. Posted it in a most universal size, and I said, to enter to win this, add a friend, and then I said, and tag them in the thread below. And you could add as many and tag as many. So you could tag people you'd already added to the group, but at that point my group was only 300 people. It was mostly my friends. The other thing I did is I said, anytime we hit 100 new people, we're going to do another giveaway. So that's partly why we grew too, because I would be like, oh, we're at 169 people. If we add 31 more, am I doing the math right? Yeah, 31 more, we get to do another giveaway. And then a couple of people would just add people because they wanted to see what was next. Right. So that's what I focused on in July. And it was scary. It was like $800 plus on the line worth of stuff. That's stuff I can't sell. But then my business grew as a result. And I've had people since come and talk to me and say, because I've done a fairly decent job of showing gratitude and, giving back on my page, I've had people come and say, like, anytime I buy from another consultant, I feel guilty because it's not you. And that's, nice to hear.
That customer loyalty when you do that.
Exactly. Yeah. And that doesn't mean people shop around, especially online. They're looking for the
I don't know.
Yeah. I shop at different places. They're going to shop at different places, but they are going to keep coming back to you if you, treat them well. So definitely give stuff away. Don't be afraid. Give so much away that it scares you.
Okay, so my experience, January and February are always double hostess for me. And last year I had I'm having the first cramp. Sorry, just a second. January and February are always double hostess, and last year I was booked, and that's a busy month for us anyways. There's leadership and then there's the cruise. So I book out pretty quickly, and I just posted that in my shop recently, and I was booked within 5 minutes. And I said you can either do it live, you can do it online, or you can do it in an event. But doing those double hostess, and I know Jamie Bagley has talked about this before, January and February are slow months, and that's going to get people to want to get, have those parties and get those items sold. And they're going to do the hype for you. If you train your hostesses to spread the word and do the advertisement, they're going to do it for you, and then you're going to have good parties. Another time that I used a giveaway was I had nothing for, I think, November, and I was kind of freaking out, and I think I asked Stephanie Zuniga, what do you do? I need to book some parties. And she said, give away leggings. So the first 5 people who booked a party with me got 2 extra pairs of leggings. The next 5 got 1. And I even booked more than that, because even though I wasn't giving the leggings away, just seeing that everybody wanting to book the parties, it made people want to book. And I was booked for November, so much so that I was like kind of stressing out. But it was a good thing, because it turned out to where I had battles of the hostesses every Monday, and it was a good month for me.
Someone asked you a question. They said, do you write off the giveaways, and if so, how do you keep track of that? Is it a tax write-off?
Okay. Yes, it is. Yeah. And my girl just has me tally it, and I just have a little sheet, and it's on the side of my LuLaRoe calendar.
You're writing off the wholesale amount, I believe.
Right, the wholesale, not the retail.
Right.
Yeah. And so I just tally the little and I do that with my giveaways to my hostesses too. And I tally it on the side. And you also have to
yourself, right?
What?
Yourself, right? Like if you wear something for promotional purposes, you can also
you have to think about those giveaways as advertisement too, because people are going to wear those items. People are going to stop them in the malls or at the grocery store or wherever, because our prints are so unique and our styles are so awesome. They're going to stop them, and they're going to be like, where did you get that? And they're going to say, oh, I got it from LuLaRoe, blah, 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 And so think about it that way. You kind of have to, when I heard Patrick say, think like a retailer, and as I was preparing for this, I just thought about, like, for me, it's just kind of like ingrained in my head that just like when you take a shower, you know exactly what to do. Now it's just like ingrained in my head that I'm thinking like a retailer, and it doesn't bother me when I do a giveaway or when I give my hostess an extra pair of leggings because she did an awesome job, but her friends and the people that came weren't that great. I want to make my hostesses feel good. I want to spread the love, and it's going to come back to you. I have one hostess who I think that next month will be her 7th party with me. And she is a full-on addict. I know she has more LuLaRoe in her closet than I do. But she shops everywhere. But she always has killer parties. And she's always, people who can't come during her party, she's always like messaging it, pictures to them, and she's making those sales, and she's, getting their credit card information. So, and why does she do that? Because she knows that I am going to bless her. I'm going to give her stuff because she's an awesome hostess. She's an awesome addict customer, and she's a friend too. And when we were in Vegas, they gave us some extra holiday leggings, and I knew immediately, they were tall and curvy. I couldn't wear them. I knew immediately I was just going to give her a pair. I took a picture of them. I said, which one do you want? I just gave it to her because it was given to me. I don't need to try to upsell it. I just gave it to her because I knew she would wear it and love it. And I know that, by me giving to her, it's going to come back to me because she's going to keep booking those parties. There's other hostesses in Des Moines. She knows other people or other consultants in Des Moines. She knows other people who are now reps, but she still comes to me. And that's how it's continually coming back to me. And you just kind of have to get that in your mind of thinking that way, because Target doesn't think, oh, our customer's going to come to me. They're just always open, and people do come and they keep coming back because we love Target, we love Walmart, we love those stores.
I
And
think so many other retailers are trying to put a finger on why LuLaRoe is doing so well. And I think it's just that, is that we have an opportunity to personally connect with our customers. Like, we get on the internet and we can give them fashion tips, and they can post a picture of what they bought and say, does this work? And you can say yes. And like, does Target have that kind of customer service? No. So I would also encourage you, if you ever get hold of popular prints, so it's everybody's unicorn, it's the Halloween leggings that everybody wants, or it's the Christmas leggings that everybody wants. If you ever get a few, don't just sell them. It'll be way more valuable for your business if you give them away promotionally. So if you could have that hot print, say, all right, I'm going to boost my Instagram following by giving this away on Instagram, or I'm going to do something really fun on my VIP page to, boost my following, or just appreciate my customers. It's always going to go farther than I find if I have that one hot print and there's only one of them, and I say I post online. Somebody buys it, everyone else is sad. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I give it away, then everyone else is like, oh my gosh, I might win, and maybe they don't. But then somebody wins and they're like really, really happy. And it's just a more positive thing than to say like, oh, I have one of these, and then to have 40 people message you, do you have another one of those prints? And
right.
No. Yeah. So give it away. There's a couple of questions here. Someone asked, how do you train a hostess, and what is the top things you tell a hostess? I think that could be a whole webinar in and of itself.
Yeah, it could. Just really quickly, like in your letter, you tell them to get as many people there as you want, Lindsay Wheeler always says, the more people there you get, the more free clothes, get that in their head. Like, I want my friends to come because I want to get free clothes. I make them work for it. Like I told you, Jamie's always texting pictures to people during the party. She knows that the more people that buy, the more stuff she's going to get. So you just keep telling them that. Constant communication is another good thing, where you communicate with them. And I always get my hostess's telephone number, and I text them a couple days before and then the day of, and I make sure on the Facebook event that they're inviting people and that they're interacting. Amber, do you do anything differently?
That's about what I do too. Yeah. I always send out the hostess prep document that I believe it's kind of been passed around. I'm not even sure. Like, Susan made it, and then I edited it, and I mean, she didn't even make it initially. I don't know, but we've added to it with hostess expectations. I send that out first thing because it has stuff on there like, if you're a smoker, right, I can't come to your house, stuff like that. And so it's like, it's written toward everyone. And I send that to them. I say, read it front to back and let me know if everything in it sounds okay. And then that way we rule that out, and at least they've kind of read it. And then I go and do all the stuff that you mentioned as well. Right. Someone else, Cassie, asked, I've been zeroing them out in Audrey. I think she means giveaways. She said, is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, do that. And then, but just keep a tally so that when you go to your tax person, you say, this is how much I gave away, because they'll dock it as advertisement.
Yes.
So,
any other questions?
Right.
We're about 40 minutes in. We don't want to make this too long, but if you have any other questions, ask them now.
You 6 viewers that are out there. So, your go away, we'll still give you time to answer questions, but your go away from this is to think about how you can promote either your online shop or your Facebook page with a giveaway, or utilize what Amber talked about, like posting that unicorn print and giving it away, or just doing a random giveaway of leggings. Don't always give away leggings either. I know that they're the hot ticket item. Oh, Dana said, how far out do you make a Facebook event for someone in a home pop-up? I usually do it a month and a half in advance. But
I do much quicker. I do 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because I find that people forget about things if they're too far in advance. But some hostesses will insist on having it planned farther out, and then I kind of go with what the hostess wants. Some of my hostesses don't commit to a party until 2 weeks before. So
right now mine is a month, because every time I get on Facebook, I can't do a ton because it puts me in jail. I'm trying to get rid of that, but so right now I can only do one or two at a time, and it's usually the last thing I think about in the day. So sometimes I post once a week. So but your go away, think about how you can do a giveaway to promote your Facebook page, your online shop, your Instagram page, whatever it is. Don't always do leggings. Maybe do an Irma, or something. Just so that it's not always leggings? Because I know
You
there's a
can
hot
think
ticket
about
item.
too, so as we're wrapping up the year, like what big things can you do to impact, just to, I mean, be a charitable business? Like, can you, once we hit, you know, this many followers, or if there's this many items are sold in a sale, I'm going to donate to, I know a bunch of people did December, you can find a local women's shelter. I'm going to clothe, you know, a homeless woman and her child. Like, that kind of stuff is going to motivate your customers, and also that kind of stuff is going to help you with team building, because if you're being generous, other people who want to be generous in their lives, which is a lot of people, will come to you and say, how are you able to do this? And then they'll want to get in on the business. And especially with tax time coming up, we're going to have a lot of onboarders, people getting in on LuLaRoe. I have so many people waiting for their tax return to join. We're going to rock the business. So if you're thinking about team building at all, like, how can you be generous to show your friends how awesome this company is, that we have an opportunity to fundraise, you know, for adoptions or this or that, or just give back because we want to.
Yeah, real quick before you answer Tara's question. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is.
I still
Okay, wait, but real quick about that. Always keep leggings in your car though, because sometimes there will be, you know, some awesome experience that you have with customer service at a coffee shop or at the grocery store, and you just want to you know, give them something for their act of kindness.
Yep.
And so just always keep leggings in your car or wherever, you know, with you.
Purse.
Okay, Tara said, when you do an online party, do you post the pictures in their event or in your VIP group? I ask the hostess what they want. Some people want it in my shop. I don't have a VIP group. I have a shop. Some people want it in there, and some people want it in an event. It's whatever they want. Amber, what do you do?
I usually create another group if I'm going to have a sale. I only do multi-hosted sales now if I'm going to do hosted sales at all, because I have so many people who want to host online because it's easy. And so I'm like, if you're willing to be part of a multi-hosted event, otherwise book a party with me. And I only do maybe 2 multi-hosted events tops per month, usually only one. I've kind of cut back. Otherwise, I just post like 1 or 2 items per week in my VIP shop. Maybe I'll do an Irma legging sale that week, and then the next week is like a huge multi-hosted sale outside of my VIP shop. But I will post a link, and I usually do everything in a group. I'll create another group. There's pros and cons to groups and events, and you can ask me more, PM me more about that later, Amber Gallen, because there's a lot of it.
Webinar on that really quick, but and going back to the giveaways, if you're doing sales within your VIP group that do not have a hostess, and you're all wrapped around, you know, I don't want to give away too much because of the financial aspect, do a sale where there's not a hostess, and maybe don't give any giveaways on during that sale, but then you can use those things that you're giving away outside of, you know, your live parties, but your giveaways to promote your business. You can use those as, you know, you can kind of like balance it with those parties or sales where you don't have hostess. You know,
I offer free shipping on most of my sales now. Almost all of them I offer free shipping, because I did the math and I realized that with pickups and with people buying more than one item, it was working out to $1.50 per item for free shipping. And I don't have to pay hostess incentives. I do one giveaway of maybe a pair of leggings, and then I do free shipping, and that's my hostess incentive for the, you know, the day, and it works out to be about the same. Dana said, I'm launching February 6th, and I have one booked for the 20th of February. So should I put up the 6th? I still have not gotten my stuff yet, but I'm trying to make sure I have some parties booked.
I think do you have a UPS tracking? If you have the UPS tracking, I would go ahead and, for January or February? Okay, yeah, I would go ahead and start promoting it, because you have a whole month yet. And, you know, unless there's a snowstorm every single week, you're going to get your stuff. And I don't think that the warehouse is shutting down anytime soon. So I think that would be safe. If it were January 6th, I might say something different, but February 6th is good. I would, even if I were you, before you have that party and you're launching on the 6th, yeah.
I would always err on the side of booking. The worst that could happen is your inventory doesn't come, and then you message that hostess and you say, hey, so sorry, we'll have to reschedule. Can I offer you a pair of free leggings for rescheduling? And I've had to do that once or twice, and I've never had a hostess be like, like, usually they're like, sweet, free leggings, and they find another date. So
yeah. And Dana, I would do a lot of promoting between now and then. You know, when you get your shipment, take a picture of the boxes. When you open it, take a picture of some cute prints. just to get people more excited about your launch party and, do it that way. And I would maybe even do some giveaways for like if people come, if they like your online shop and they come to the launch, do things like that to promote more awareness of your business. All right, any more questions? I think we should wrap it up. And the snow is like getting worse here, Amber.
Is that behind you? Is that snow or a wall?
Yeah.
I know, I can hear it.
All right. Well, this was fun. And I hope that you guys can, wrap your brain around thinking like a retailer and that it just becomes, natural for you. Yeah. So thank you so much, Amber.
Thanks for having me.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.